All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it as always. Sorry I haven't been here in, 2 weeks or whatever it was, or I haven't had a live stream. Sorry for about that long. Just wasn't feeling it, that's all. Some days you don't want to do anything, and I've been going through it for the last few weeks or few months. And a couple days ago was get your AC on. Yeah, the AC. There is no AC in this room. The portable, the ACs are in the other room, and the fan I can't even find it. So I'm gonna suffer through the night. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. All right, guys. Mr. Landfill, Evolving Media, thank you for the 5x5. Flown Grown, Long Island, Dobie, Ozark, Colt, thank you for 5x5. Mitch B. Patrice, let's go. Winter, Lexi, excuse me. Joe, Gick Grimes, or Gick Rhymes. Simple, Kathy, Gary, thank you for 5x5. Notia Dumbass, Maria Jackson, Raccoon Eyes, Rhonda, Sarita, Buy the Book, thank you for the 5x5. Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Buy the Book, F you all, thank you for the 5x5. Groundhog, Jane, Ekte, Soraya? I can never pronounce the name. Thank you for 5x5. Wild, Crow, thank you for the 5x5. JD, Adriana, looking slim. As long as I don't look like I have AIDS. That's all that matters. William, Master Blaster, Lazarus, Tom Tom, Beef and Chicken, thank you for the 5x5. And Mark said, damn, you're down bad? What does down bad mean? Down what? My audio? It's been 2 weeks. All right, Johnny 3, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, listen, like I said, just going through my shit, that's all. So I just didn't want to do anything. It was simple as that. I just didn't want to do a fucking thing. So now I'm sort of back into it, not that I'm sort of back into it. I switched up my regimen, if you will, a little bit. I started taking vitamin B and D3, so that's been helping out with the mood, the whole, depression bullshit. So it's been helping out a little bit. It's been helping out, not a little bit. It's been helping out a lot. Not even a little bit. It's been helping out a lot. So I do feel phenomenally better. But I'm gonna have to get one of those kids to put the fan in here, because this shit is brutal. Just don't know where I would fucking put it. I guess maybe in front of me. I'm going to get one of my little servants to give me the fan. Prep to adapt. Thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Let's see. I text one of my little slaves. So, anyway, B12, some good shit. Johnny 308. And the thing is, I knew that, but I wasn't taking it. I just started taking B12 complex. So, it's been helping out pretty good. Plus, I've been getting up in the morning and just walking, running, kettlebell work, a lot of kettlebell work. So, crack shot. Yes, I thank you for jumping the gun, but that's one of the articles I was going to talk about. Not specifically the same one you read, but yes. Now, I found it interesting that they said that the arm ticket for the Nipah virus, I'm pronouncing it right now, is set to enter human trials, but they set that back in January. So maybe it was delayed, and now they're going through with it. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Of course, the one time my son's all over his phone, he's not answering me. Whatever. If I die, it's because of him. Just know that. My boys let me die of fucking heat exhaustion in here. But yeah. There's also niacin that helps out as well. Again, working out, walking helps. So all of that is helping, and it's going in the right direction. So it's definitely something that I would recommend people who are suffering from, I call it functional depression, and it's not a real medical term, or it's not acknowledged in the medical world, but it does exist. I am tired. That's for sure. I'm tired. Today was a rough day. Today was a rough day at work. It was hot. It was hot. We were busy running around doing bullshit. That's the worst part about the firefighting part of the job, man. Listen, it could be 120 degrees outside. If I get to go to a fire and fight it, I am fucking happy. Granted, a lot of us are gonna pass out, but it's still fun. You know, I mean, it's just a fun job all the way around. But but yeah, niacin. It helps with it. Matter of fact, it was an anecdotal study, if you will. A lady who suffered from severe depression was taking niacin, but she was taking a large amount, and her doctor, didn't like that her son and her husband switched her meds out, and so because they switched the meds out and they put her on niacin, she got better. But she was on a large dosage, which I didn't think was healthy because the dosage was too large. But she stopped suffering from depression, and then they court ordered her to put her back on medications, and then she went back into her stupor. Right, so she was like catatonic with the shit that she was taking. Brian, the flooding here in New York, from what I saw, was pretty bad. Downstairs by the highway underneath me, it was flooded pretty good. But videos I saw in Jersey look like a whole new. Again, we're seeing more of this rain. I don't remember, guys, growing up ever in my entire life up until probably 2-3 years ago. I don't remember seeing all this kind of flooding. I don't ever remember seeing anything like it. So with that, niacin is B3. That I don't know. I'll look into it, but I remember hearing that study, and that was a long time ago. Yes, niacin is B3. Okay, all right. So then she was better off taking the B complex. But anyway, not the point. The point is that the flooding here was pretty bad. I don't remember seeing anything like this prior to 5 years ago. Prior to that, I don't remember seeing this kind of flooding. Not this flash floodings that we're constantly getting now with every rainstorm that passes through here, or just about every rainstorm that passes through here. How hot does it get in your fire suit? It's called bunker gear. It's not my super suit. It's not a fire suit. It's called bunker gear. It's a bunker, or protective layer against the extreme heat of fire. Depends on the kind of fire you're in, or how hot it gets in that fire, or in that particular location, it's going to dictate how long you can be in that fire, right? So I forgot what the temperature was. I'll get it for you for the next video, should the question come up. But and bunker gear is all rated differently. Some are rated for not so hot, if that makes sense, and then some are rated for extreme heat. A fire in an apartment like this that you see me in now, these are concrete walls. A fire in this room would turn it into an oven. I think, if I'm not mistaken, doors closed, windows still sealed, it can get up to 800-900 degrees in here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, yes, 800-900 degrees, because of the walls radiating heat back in with the fire growing and so on and so forth, right? Again, it all depends on what's burning in here as well. It's going to dictate how hot it gets. And then you're in that bunker suit, or bunker gear, or turnout gear. Thank you, Flown Grown. No, Wyatt. The turnout gear, it depends on how hot it gets. It's going to dictate what you do. Now, if it gets hot and you're trapped and you can't get out, you are ultimately baking like a baked potato. Right? So just keep that in mind. Yes, it's great that it provides protection from fire, but heat, not so much. And then if we get trapped, or we can't get out, or the room flashes on us, or whatever it is, then you turn into a baked potato for the most part. Baked angry. Yes. You definitely turn into I turn into a baked angry Negro, or a crispy critter. You choose, But yeah, it does get a little warm at times. Fires that get warm is okay, and you feel it through the bunker gear. You feel the heat coming through. That tells you how hot it is. And obviously, if you start burning, you are well past where you're supposed to be. If you start burning in your bunker gear or you start feeling that heat, get really uncomfortable, you were far past where you're supposed to be. You were supposed to turn around at that point. But yeah, outside of that, guys, bunker gear is great, but it also sucks. You can also, again, turn into a nice little roasted potato on that thing. So again, the rain here, there was a lot of flooding. And again, I don't remember growing up and seeing flash flooding this much. I mean, like maybe once or twice when I was a kid, maybe. But now it's just about every year, guys, we're seeing flash flood warnings everywhere. And in New York City, nonetheless. Flash flooding's all over the place. I get a notice on my phone, flash flood warning. I'm like, in fucking New York City? The first time I saw flash flood warning was a few years ago. And I remember looking at it and going, no fucking way. Well, with that, we had that big flooding issue that happened a couple of years ago in the Bronx, where I thought that would be the last place on this planet that would flood. Right? I think I showed you guys pictures of that a while ago. And now that's almost a constant, almost a regular, right? So it's this, whatever it is, whether it's weather warfare or the Earth reacting, and there's a lot of things going on with the Earth itself, that could be the possibility. Yes, the blue rain that some people said they saw in Texas leading up to the big flood that happened, last week, or almost 2 weeks ago now? Leading up to that, there was rainstorms that happened in Texas, and people were reported of seeing blue puddles. And they were seeing in like, their tarps or on top of their tent, they're taking like a white cloth or white paper towel, wiping it, and there's like a blue dye in it or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, it's pretty bad, right? So you have that. But then we have the Earth probably wanting to do its own thing, which is, wipe us off the face of this planet. Or just does what the Earth does, which is a cycle of climate change that we've probably never seen before, that we're going to start seeing. 90 tomorrow in northern Maine. That's rough, dude. Hold on. Let's see what tomorrow's going to bring. Now again, not too bad tomorrow, but there's also thunderstorms. So there is that. But tomorrow's going to be 86. 88, sorry. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be 88 degrees. Cool Kid, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. I know that was all late and shit, but thank you. All right. So, yeah, listen, it could be weather warfare. I don't know. I mean, like, again, think about what the planet goes through on its own. That could very well be the possibility, right? So, it was 100 in Colorado. Was that today? Because I saw that. I thought I saw that earlier today. I thought I saw that earlier today. Somebody wrote it somewhere. But flash flood equal water from below. I guess all I know, guys, is that people's cars were flooded. There was a whole, not parking lot, but what was it? Not a parking lot. What the fuck was it again? It was a dealership, a Honda dealership that was pretty much underwater. Every last one of those cars was screwed. Now, keep in mind, guys, a lot of the flooding that is happening and popping up all over, at least this region here of the United States, which is the eastern seaboard or the tri-state area, has never seen flash flooding like this. So a lot of shit that's going down has never before been seen. But it will become a common occurrence. Believe me on that. Now, today, guys, we're talking about the fear that is building, and so is the situation. I type in Nipah virus news, and almost every day there's a new article being released about how they're going to treat this Nipah virus, right? And they're talking about it as if they're getting us ready for what is coming next. And they're even releasing articles on how it spreads and how to protect yourself. So they're already starting. And in one of the articles, they were already mentioning the arm ticket before the arm ticket was even out. That means this human trial for the arm ticket for the Nipah virus is going to get passed. It doesn't matter how many people suffer, pass away, don't make it, how many things they cover up. That arm ticket is coming out. Period. Were you doing any rescues? No, Lisa, I was not. I was home. I was home looking outside going, man, it would suck to work tonight. But so keep that in mind, guys. They're building up this narrative, and they're building it up not slowly, but they're definitely trying to instill the fear steady this time, right? So they're building people's, or rather, they're loading people's nervous system with this nonsense, and people are getting, what this Nipah virus? And people are asking me at work, like, what is it? This Nipah or Napa? I'm like, and I said it was Nipah because I got it wrong. But yeah, the Nipah virus is this new thing that's coming out that has a 40 to 50% mortality rate. And if it's genetically modified, I think the mortality rate's going to be higher. They're going to tell us that it's a new variant. It's a new version of the original Nipah. And this new version is going to have a higher mortality rate. And even though one side of me thinks it might have a higher mortality rate, and another side of me thinks they're going to tell us it has a higher mortality rate just to get us to take the arm ticket, because they're going to scare the shit out of people to take this arm ticket. It's why they're building up this story. It's why they're steadily releasing articles like the rising threat of the Nipah virus, a highly contagious and deadly zoonotic pathogen. Now, I got the links for these articles. You guys could read it on your own. But this article was released May 10th. I'll just put it in the chat. Why am I'm sitting here like I'm not going to fucking do it. So that's in the chat. So these are articles, guys, again, that are built to scare people. Now, the Mr. 19 came out of nowhere, and that took people by surprise and off guard. I think these studies, these articles, are to get the elites ready for what is coming out, and to get other people who are off grid to read these articles and go, okay, they know how to prepare for it. Henry, exactly. That's all it is. It's more propaganda. It's more nonsense. Now, could this very well be a highly contagious, high mortality rate situation? Absolutely. It absolutely could. It could be real. That's the other side of the coin or box. The other side of that box is because it could have a higher mortality rate. It could be real. This could be deadlier. If we take the stance of, oh, we'll treat it like nothing, we are the ones that are going to be infected by it and pass away. Now, do not get me wrong. If this thing does start spreading, it turns into a situation, I'm going to take the proper precautions to stay away from it and make sure no one else I know gets sick from it. But I'm not about to run out and get an arm ticket for it. Absolutely not. Mickey McMurphy, do not know. I have no clue. I'm a fireman, not a cop. Nor am I going to ask a cop about that. But mitten smoke tomorrow. 36. Yeah, the weather's definitely trying to kill us, right? When it all hits 90 and then at night it drops down to 63. You're like, what? Don't get me wrong, I like a cool night, but what about the mass overdose in Philly? Carl, I know nothing about that. I have too many other things on my plate. Not too many other things on my plate. Let me walk that back. There are too many things crossing my computer or my phone that I'm reading about, right? You have, like today Trump was talking about Bondi should release any credible evidence about Epstein. Now he's saying that because he's getting a ton of backlash over what he pulled or what he said last week about the list not existing. And again, it's amazing to me that the list now doesn't exist and people are like, you know what, the list doesn't exist. I'm like, you sound like an incredible dick-faced moron. Now because he said it, now all of a sudden it doesn't exist. Oh, well maybe he's hiding. You know, he's making it disappear because what? You ran your campaign on it, fuckface. Release it already. You know. But again, that's a different subject for a different day. There are just too many things going on. There's flash floodings and massive floodings all over the country and all over the world. Spain got hit, if I'm not mistaken. Maryland, Texas last week, China a month ago. A couple of other countries were hit with massive, or rather fast flash floodings, if that's even a thing. And people were not prepared for it. Maryland, I was a little surprised about. Jersey got hit with flash flooding. Parts of New York got hit. I don't know about Connecticut. The Bronx River Parkway, which is a parkway that always gets flooded when it rains, turned into a canal. All right. Now the water was it was higher than normal, or at least it looked like it was higher than normal, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that worked out. Kensington, Philly is horrible with overdosing, but I didn't know if there was a new thing going on. I don't follow it that closely. And if it was, my mother would tell me because she lives out there in Philly, or at least near Philly. But if there is a massive overdosing going on, I'll hear about it soon. YouTube is deleting the hell out of the comments. The chat or the comments, Johnny 308? Yes, the Nipah virus. Everywhere you read is a little different. Gen X outdoors. Some places will say 40 to 50%. Other places will say a hard 60%. You're saying up to 70. Wherever you go is seemingly different, which I find that to be a red flag. Normally, when you have a known virus, it's usually a fixed mortality rate. It's not all over the place. The fact that people are recording it at 40 to 50, 60, 70%, 80, depends on if you're old, 100, like, it's all over the place. So that's why I look at it, chat. No kidding. All right, I don't know what to tell you, but, and I'm not even going after it tonight. So, and the comment section or the chat section seems kind of, tame tonight. So I don't know. I have a scientist sitting next to me. Again, Gen X Outdoors. I know a couple of scientists as well, and they all have a different number. You know what? We're going to have to wait and see. That's pretty much how that's going to play out. We got to wait and see where this goes and how it affects. Now, I could all but guarantee if you are an elderly person with with medical issues, you're undoubtedly going to pass away from this. That's without a doubt. If I'm not mistaken, a 14-year-old last week passed away from this in India, right? And people were flipping out. Oh my God, a little Indian, I think it was an Indian kid, girl, I'm not sure, passed away, and people were like, flipping out. Stop. So with this, guys, we got weather modification war going on. We have the Earth climate changing on its own. We got space anomalies. We got the sun acting up. Apparently the Earth sped up in rotation by like a millisecond or some shit like that. And it was supposed to happen on the 9th and I think the 21st. Or it was the 9th, the 12th, and I think the 21st that the Earth speeds up for those 2 days. My son's mother told me the energy waves or the electro waves of Earth has been spiking for the last couple of weeks. Mount Rainier is acting up. There are tremors and earthquakes, and to my knowledge, a lot of people are surprised that there's that many earth movers, or I wouldn't say earthquakes, shallow quakes, if you will, at Mount Rainier. You got Yellowstone being a little more active in its earthquakes as well. The Ring of Fire supposedly active or more active than usual. Guys, it's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. This thing is going to shake us right off this planet, whatever it is. Then they got a meteor that they think might hit us. It might be 2% chance of hitting us to a 98% chance of hitting us. What? And then we got the possibility of Rosie O'Donnell coming back to the United States. It's all falling apart, man. We're all going to die. She comes back, we're all going to die. It's not going to be we're all going to die Wednesday when Rosie O'Donnell comes back. That's for fucking sure. The sun is flipping its core now. That's what it's switching in a different direction. They think our core is going to spin in the opposite direction, or it is spinning in the opposite direction. There's a million things that are going on, right? And then God and Jesus are coming back to give each other high fives and fuck us all. So we're all screwed, guys. It doesn't matter where you look, it's seemingly like we're all screwed. Meanwhile, the evil that exists on this planet is continuing to operate as usual. I can't wait for snow in August, because if that happens, it's over. You know, that's how it is. We're gonna die. But yeah, it's just everybody's nervous about everything. I'm like, whatever, man. Listen, if it happens, it happens. If we have a blackout, like someone just says, or another, situation pops off and it happens to be the Nipah virus, who cares? We will handle it accordingly. Shaking in our boots, carrying on, and crying doesn't do anything. Again, I'm going to always give you guys a heads up, but that's about it. Guatemala had 4 days of quake and tremors last week. Their volcanoes were super active too. There was another volcano that was super active too. I cannot remember which one it was, but I remember hearing about it and going, come on, man. Like, seriously. How much more? Listen, something has got to give. Ace, hey, listen, it could be a Rosie O'Donnell dancing, or trying to dance, or moonwalk, whatever it is. That's what the earthquakes could be, Her jumping up and down in anger over Donald Trump taking her citizenship away. Donald Trump taking Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship away is an asshole move. He's an asshole for that. He's an asshole for even speaking about it. Like, why would you got a million things on your plate. You got the possibility of a third world war. You got Russia fucking looking like it's going to collapse and crying. You got China with financial problems that could definitely wreck the rest of the world. You got situations happening here. You got flash floodings over there. You got earthquakes and possible Yellowstone going. You got all of these things. You got a spacecraft that's fucking switching directions, or a rock that's switching directions in space. They don't know what that is. And so we got all of these things happen. And he's like, let's table that. Let's table all of that. We got to take Rosie O'Donnell's shit up. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Leave that big bitch alone. Let her fucking, she's like a non-entity. And focusing on her so that he can get the focus off himself being on the Epstein list, maybe? I don't know. But bringing up Rosie O'Donnell when all of this shit's going on is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Johnny threw away. He just can't. Like mentioning, I'm going to make sure. Why? Fuck her. And again, he's focused on the dumbest things. Just the most moronic things in the world, and that's what he's focused on. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Leave that bitch alone. Let her read her bonbons and fucking live in Ireland and do the fucking Irish jig or some shit. I don't know. And that's the crazy shit, Laura. Thank you for bringing it up. This asshole's focused on fucking Rosie O'Donnell and whether or not he's going to take her citizenship away. But he's got the Epstein file and case in his lap, and he's like, nah, this shit don't exist, dude. This is not here. In fact, look at Rosie O'Donnell in Ireland. Let's take, what is that? She's more important than the fucking list. And like a lot of you said in my comment section, if the list doesn't exist and there's no big to do with Mr. E, then why is Maxine, whatever her name, still sitting in jail? There's no clients. Why is that bitch in jail? Because if there was no clients, then there was no hookers. And if there was no hookers, she should be getting out. But again, this is all dumb. Just the shit he's focused on is the stupidest thing in the world. I'm like, Rosie O'Donnell, dude, really? Ugh. And there's something going on in Hollywood. I do not know what it is. I have an idea what it is, but something is going on with the celebrities in Hollywood. They are all starting to look the same. This thin, emaciated look with a receding hairline. The women, they are pale. They're like the whitest white women I've ever seen. Something is going on in Hollywood, and something said there was something called anachromian or anachromini, whatever it's called. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And there was something with Kate Beckinsale, and I looked at her, I'm like, holy shit. And there's a lot of celebrities that are looking sick and almost, thank you, praise him, almost like demonic lizards or just demonic people. Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. Thank you. It wasn't Ozempic because Kathy, what's her name? The bitch that had Trump's head, she wasn't a big girl at all. Yes, Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. Am I saying that right? But yes, people look it up. She said lock it up. But yeah, look up adrenochrome. I looked it up the other day. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Yes, people are taking Ozempic, but that's not the Ozempic look. Not that look. Anyway, thank you, Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin was always a thin lady. She was skinnier than she wasn't taking Ozempic. Kate Beckinsale, always been a thin girl, not taking Ozempic. Unless there's another reason why they're taking Ozempic, and you guys could clue me in on. These two girls are not taking it. And what's her name? The skinny bitch in the movie, the Wizard of Oz movie. The one with the black green witch bitch, and she was like, I'm gonna steal your fucking golden slipper or whatever the fuck her name is. Wicked Witch of the West. Wicked. The Adriana Grande. Adriana Grande. Something Grande. You guys know what I mean. Her. She looked like shit, and she's always been skinny. So it's not Ozempic. That's for fucking sure. Adrenochrome. Okay. Adrenochrome. Eating disorder. Here we go with this ambiguity. I think I said it right this time. I said it like a retard, but I said it nonetheless. Anyway, adrenochrome. Yes, Katy Perry was another one that looked like shit. I saw that. I'm like, there's something. Ariana Grande. I said Adriana Grande? Yes, Ariana Grande. Thank you. Yo, she looked like shit right after she did Wicked. I was like, what? Like, there's something going on. Again, I don't want to talk about that. That's a different subject. I could definitely deep dive into that, but I'm not going to. But anyway, guys, so with the whole Nipah virus, guys, let's go over real quick what it is. Now, the Nipah virus has been the talk for the last 6 months. They've been focused on it for the last 6 months. But the Nipah virus is a highly contagious, deadly zoonotic virus that can cause severe disease in humans and animals with a mortality rate ranging from, 40 to 75%. There goes another set of numbers. It is primarily transmitted from fruit bats to humans and can also spread between people, leading to an outbreak mainly in the parts of Asia like Bangladesh and India. Now, that part of the world sees the Nipah virus a lot. And people were like, look, it's happening in India. And I'm like, but I read articles for the last 2-3 years of this virus popping up. Now, all of a sudden, it's popping up. And now there are articles bracing us for the incoming of this. Now, I tell you guys, it can happen later this year. It can happen 2 years from now. But the fact, guys, that they are in human trials for this arm ticket, the Nipah virus arm ticket, suggesting that it's going to be out very soon. And what they're going to do is they're stocking it up as we speak. They're not going to wait for these human trials to be over. They're going to stock it up. They're going to stock up on it, and then there's going to be a sudden outbreak, and all hell's going to break loose because people are going to pass away from this. They're going to make sure they infect the young and the old, and that's where it's going to get you, because you're going to see old people dropping like flies. You're going to see kids dropping like flies, and once you start seeing kids drop like flies, that's where they get everybody's emotions. You get everybody locked in with their emotions when it starts affecting kids and when it starts affecting grandma and grandpa. When you watch old people like the old Miss Mary, the nicest lady you ever know, she boom falls over and she's out like a light forever. That gets people like, oh shit. You start seeing kids pass away. Now you're like, oh shit, for real. And now you're looking around. They're like, what the fuck are we going to do? And then they go, oh, wait a minute. We got something for you. Here we go. The arm ticket. The arm ticket for this. And then people are going to falter to it. And it's going to be a lot of people who sat there and said, I'm not taking another. Yes, you are. Yes, the fuck you are. Because if you weren't dedicated enough to step out of line with this, the Mr. 19 arm ticket, you are definitely going to fall in line again for the Nipah virus arm ticket. So, for those people who fell for it before, you will fall for it again. That's just a fact. I will bet my bottom dollar. Now, articles like, guys, again, the Nipah virus, what it is, how it spreads, and how to protect yourself sounds like a gay title for a what you call it. But I'm putting that I'm putting this comment. I'm putting a link in the comment section so you guys can read the article for yourself. Then the next article is Nipah virus Kerala, which I think is Kerala, India. Know the symptoms, cause, prevention, and measurements of this zoonotic infection. So, let's see if we can pull it up. Now, here are the first signs of the symptoms for the Nipah virus. It's like everything else. It is fever, headaches, breathing difficulties, cough, sore throat, diarrhea, vomiting, muscle pain, and swelling. That's the flu. That is pretty much the flu minus the diarrhea part. Symptoms usually begin within 4 to 14 days after exposure of the virus. It is common to have a fever or a headache first, developing in respiratory problems with coughing and difficulty breathing later. The severe symptoms and people who go into the severe zone or the life-threatening zone: confusion, disorientation, slurred speech, seizure, coma, respiratory distress. Now, why are you suffering from confusion, disorientation, slurred speech, seizure, and a coma? Because your brain starts to swell. That is what this disease does. It starts to swell the brain, and then there you go. Voila. Any new vids on a calming journey? No, I am getting back to that. I'm going to try to do one video a month for that, but I'm definitely going to do that and start implementing that into the Angry Prepper Fitness, right? So you want to lower your mood, you want to lower your stress, that kind of music does so. And with all of this shit going on, I think we should be listening to the Calming Journey channel like all the time. But again, I'm going to start doing one video a month, and I got to start getting back out there to film and get my own B-roll. Now I could download B-roll too to save my time from doing it, but I like going out there and filming it myself. So hopefully when I go to Colorado in September and hopefully Arizona later in the year, I can do some B-roll footage, and then the Angry Calming channel will start up again. But I think I'm going to start it probably in September. I'm going to give myself some time to do some videos and just release them ahead of time, if that makes sense. Anyway, so guys, with all of this going on, all of these problems, they're trying to get you ready. They're trying to get people ready for this shit. So now, here is how to prevent the Nipah virus from spreading. Wash your hands frequently. No shit. Avoid contact with sick pigs or bats. Yeah, man, because I'm fucking walking around like, just touching bats and pigs in the city. Clean and disinfect pig farms. Animals with the virus should go into quarantine right away, aka putting a bullet in the back of their head. Avoid trees, bushes where bats are known to rest or sleep. Roger that. Avoid eating or drinking anything that may be contaminated, such as palm sap or fruits. If you collect palm sap, boil it first. Wash and peel all the fruits before consuming them. Throw away any fruits with bat bites or fruits that touch the ground. Avoid contact with saliva, blood, and other bodily fluids from people. I thought it was going to say pigs, because I'm like, this conversation is going in a different direction if it said that. Anyway, infection control measures can help prevent the spread of the Nipah virus. For example, if you are caring for a person that has it or suspected of having it, you should always use personal protective PPE, or lock them in a room, throw food on the floor, and tell them hope for the best. That's your better option. You're sick? Through the door, shovel some fucking Cheerios under the door and some water, and be like, here, this is all you're getting until you fucking clear this shit. I am not opening the doors. Then every couple of hours you knock on the doors, and then make sure they're still around. Any meds we can prep? Cool kid. I do not know. I'll be the first to tell you. I have no clue if you can prep for this or not. Some people will say because it's a virus. Someone mentioned ivermectin. That could be it, but I don't know. Remove all blood from baths before microwaving. It's probably the way to go. And that might be the way to go with that one. Yeah, you're probably going to look like sloth if you take this arm ticket. I can almost guarantee you guys, this arm ticket for this situation that's starting to form, if you will, you're going to look like something. You're going to look like sloth, or you're going to turn into Rosie O'Donnell. You choose where you want this to go, or what you want to look like. But genetic-wise, you're probably going to look like Rosie O'Donnell. You're going to get a jaw. You're going to start being cranky at first. That's the first sign. You're going to get cranky. Your hair, if you're a chick, is going to get cut short to here. You're going to want this sudden urge for ice cream and bonbons. You're going to start complaining about everything under the sun, right? You're going to wear glasses if you're not. And if you're already wearing glasses, you're going to be wearing bottle coat glasses because that's what happens. You're going to gain sudden amount of massive weight. You're just going to get fat for no reason. You could work out, diet, eat, calorie count, macro count, the whole 9 yards. You're going to start looking like Rosie O'Donnell. You're just going to get fat. That is the Rosie O'Donnell virus. That very well could be inside of the arm ticket. So, I don't know. I'd rather just pass away. I don't want to look like her. Just put me in the ground, man. Looking like a fucking jelly sandwich with feet. No, thank you. No, thank you. You might have some weird cravings. Please don't squeeze the Charmin. I tell you this much, I'm dying to see what people run out and get this time around. I'm really like, yo, what are people going to do with this when they start announcing that this thing is an outbreak? And it's going to outbreak in a country like India. They're not going to use China next time. Wherever it comes from, it's not coming from India. I tell you, I could all but guarantee that's not coming out of China this time. It's going to come out of India or a country like it. So that we can all point fingers at India, because it ain't starting here. Though the Chinese the other day, or a week or two ago, said that they have proof that Mr. 19 came from the United States. I said, here we go. Here we go with the bullshit. Marvin, you will become a loudmouth as well. You start complaining about shit and be a loudmouth. People will hear you down the block. Oh no, Jared is turning into Rosie O'Donnell. You know. But yeah. Yo, I'll tell you guys this much. You have a choice. You have two choices on this planet. You take the arm ticket. Both of them are for the Nipah virus. Both of them will protect you from the Nipah virus. But you have three choices, actually. You have look like Rosie O'Donnell, look like Gorlock, or die. You guys choose. 1, 2, or 3. And for those of you that don't know what Gorlock looks like, just look it up. I'm all but sure some people are going to pick 1, Rosie O'Donnell, 2, Gorlock, or 3, just dead. Just put me in the ground. I want nothing to do with it. Sounds like you're taking Metoprolol. It's, what is that again? Restore Justice. It's been a while since I've looked up meds or been around meds like that. Someone said 2, Gorlock. 3, die. 3, die. Nice. Yeah, it's Gorlock. If I'm not mistaken, it's Gorlock. 3. I stocked up on TP. Somebody better stock up on TP. I tell you that much, because I'm dying to see what people grab this time around. You know, people were grabbing Lysol spray and toilet paper, and I'm like, wait, what? Throw me away somewhere if I look like... Yeah, exactly. Leave me on the side of the road. Wrap me up in a carpet, leave me on the side of the road. I want nothing to do with it. Or just eat an ass ton of garlic. A shit ton of garlic, excuse me. An ass ton of garlic. That's one way of putting it. Flown Grown said, don't look it up. I thought it was a cholesterol med. I thought it had something to do with the heart or something in that regards. But, alright. I'm allergic to metoprolol. It's for palpitations. Is it palpitations or is it cholesterol? Heart meds. What's sappening? Northern Hillbilly. I don't know what's sappening, but I know what's happening. Dan Rose definitely will. I'll look that up. Dude, you're getting Adele. You're getting Adele? Adele the singer or Adele a computer? HeartMed, I take it. Okay. You take Metapro. Okay, a ton of guys I work with, man, they're like, I'm on this med, I'm on that med. I'm like, yo, I was probably a teaspoon away from being a diabetic, but I reversed a lot of it with the shit that I'm doing. Now I'm back to replacing my first cup of coffee in the morning with mushroom coffee. I bought a new one called Koopa, so I'm going to try that tomorrow for the first time. But it's that, Rise, or Everyday Dose. Those are the three mushroom coffees I'll drink in the morning. I'm replacing my first cup of coffee with that. No sugar, and I'm putting MCT oil to start the fat burning process in the body. Perry said I'm glowing. What am I, gay and pregnant? How does a man glow? Women glow when they're pregnant or they had good sex. Men don't glow. I haven't had sex in 1,000 years, and I'm not pregnant. So, and if I'm glowing, I'm probably glossy from the sweat in this hot ass room. Mushroom coffee. Johnny 308. The mushroom coffee has a lot of health properties to it. I tell you that. Yes, MCT oil helps with fat burning. It's good fat to have in the body. I got to get you the rundown from it. Now I'm glowing. All right, whatever, dude. Matter of fact, let's just look it up. We got a computer right here. We have a computer right here. The benefits with it is weight loss, weight management, energy source, cognitive function, digestive health, antimicrobial properties, and other things to consider. Now, the first part of a calorie reduction, MCT oil may help lower overall calorie intake. It has about 10% fewer calories than LCT. Weight loss for MCT oil. Some studies suggest that MCT oil can support moderate weight loss and fat loss, although results can vary. Now, where the results can vary with MCT oil is if you drink too much of it. If you drink too much of it, it has the opposite effect. That's why I drink it about 2-3 times a week and not every day. I also I do something called bulletproof coffee once a week. You put grass-fed butter, MCT oil in your coffee. Pretty good shit. Now, they say to use, you can use sweet butter or non-salted butter. When you put salted butter, it does have a salty taste, which I do like. Energy source. MCT oil are rapidly absorbed and converted into energy, making them a popular choice for athletes and those on a low-carb diet. Ketosis support. MCT oil can help maintain ketosis and metabolic state where the body burns fat for energy instead of carbohydrates. Again, 2 to 3 times a week I drink this shit. Maybe I should drink it more. Who knows? But brain health. MCT oil may provide an alternative energy source for the brain, which can be beneficial for individuals with neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and or dementia. Seizure management. This has been shown to reduce seizure frequencies in some individuals with epilepsy, and then it helps with the digestion. MCT oil does not require bile salt for digestion, making them suitable for individuals with fat malabsorption issues. Okay. And then it fights infection. The lauric acid in MCT oil has antimicrobial effects, which may help combat certain bacterial and fungal infections. Fungal infections, does that mean yeast infection, ladies? And can you rub that? No, forget it. If you drink that, would it help? Fungal infections, whatever. Anyway, MCT oil is the way to go. I learned. I only used it. I was only using it for the fat burning process. I didn't know about a lot of the other shit, the cognitive function, the energy source. I knew about the digestive thing. I didn't know about, and antimicrobial properties. I didn't know about that either. But I knew about the weight management and energy source. That's where it lies. But again, 2-3 times a week. So tomorrow morning, it's the first thing I have. I put that on my body. I'm good for most of the day after I take this shit. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm throwing fucking weights around. I'm ready to get into a fist fight because the energy level is there. Again, with my B complex and D regiment in the morning, and my walking, biking in the morning, I'm ready to rock and roll. So this stuff does work. It is an acquired taste. I never done bulletproof coffee with mushroom coffee, so it should be an interesting struggle tomorrow if it tastes like shit. Because if it tastes like shit, I struggle to drink it. I will get through with it, but I struggle. Because I'm like, yo, fuck this thing, man. Seriously. But other than that, how about this? Your skin's looking clearer and it's glowing. Guys, with the whole glowing shit. I said I'm glistening. I'm glistening because it's fucking hot, man. This is oil. It's not fucking... I'm sweating here. I'm dying. I need a glass of water. And I can fucking guarantee you, after this live stream's over, my son's going to come running in here with the fan. I all but guarantee that shit. So, did I miss any comments on the angry... Sorry, Rumble. Okay. Well, I tell you this, cool kid. Going back to your question, meds that you can prep for, I would try to get my hands on Mr. Ivermectin. I would definitely try to get my hands on that if I can. They're starting to sell that again. Doctors are starting to prescribe it again. Try to see if you can get yourself that stuff too. Obviously, over-the-counter stuff, but anything you think you're going to need, get it. And I would go with that. Ivermectin first. That would be my first go-to. You do look healthier. I look healthier. Yes, restore, working great. All right, so all right, guys. Thank you for all the healthy looks, the glistening. I feel this. I can't wait to take a shower. I really can't wait to take a shower after this. Get a window shaker AC. What is a window shaker AC? Thank you, Some Shady. I'm sweating. I'm sweating like a slave in a cotton field. It's so fucking hot in here, I thought I heard Negroes fucking singing Negro spirituals in the background. I'm pretty sure I smell fucking cotton in the air, too. It's so fucking hot in here. Harriet Tubman's about to bust in his room like, nigga, you free, run. That's how fucking hot it is in here. I'm trying to suck it up. I got the Angry Truth. I'm going to do about 15 minutes of that, and then boom, I'm out of here. I'm going to go take a fucking shower. Or I got to record videos and then take a shower. The Angry Shimmer. Okay, fine. Fine, I'm done with you people. But other than that, guys, there's just a lot going on. And again, the whole Nipah virus, they're slowly leaking that out. Not leaking it. They're slowly releasing articles to the public. I would say by the end of the year, we're going to see a nice build up to it. But it's definitely seeping out there, you know? The comments are getting out of control. And I'm hoping the majority of you are ladies that are making these comments. Because if you guys are dudes, I'm shutting this shit off right now. And then I'm going to go to sleep. Jace Medical has it. Yes. Reese. Jace Medical recently started giving it, putting it back in their kits. Because when I asked them about it a year ago, they said no. They don't have it. Now they're having it again. So, Bruce Leroy was glowing. Yes, Gabba. Yes, Bruce Leroy glowed. He had the glow. I definitely don't have anybody's glow. I'm just trying to, listen, just trying to get through day to day, man, without these shimmering comments. It's just hot. It's just hot in here, man. It's just fucking bad. Any flooding in your area? Northern Hillbilly probably asked that about like a half hour ago. But there was some flooding in the subway. In the traffic's down here. The traffic highway below me. There was some flooding there. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't like what we saw in Jersey. There was a couple spots in New York. Actually, 28th Street train station, I think it was the one line, was flooded. It looked like the water was about a foot or two high. And the train pulled in. So I don't know how it pulled in or why it looked so high, but there was some good flooding in the train stations. But yeah, the angry sweaty prepper. Perry, It's just hot, man. Do you identify as an angry, sweaty man? Oh, God. Have you ever been to Wisconsin? Tom, no. I've never been to Wisconsin. But I am going to Colorado Springs in September, and then I'm traveling up to Wyoming, to Yellowstone. So I will do that. You need an AC. I know I need a fucking AC. The last person to tell me that shit. You need an AC. No kidding. It's fucking hot. Of course I need an AC in here. I'm just hoping that the outlets are dedicated 220 for the one I want. I need a dedicated 220 volt. Is it 220 volt? Watts. Volts for the AC that I want to get. I know the living room, I think, has a dedicated 220 line. I don't know. In here it doesn't. But I could probably just get a smaller window unit in here. Whatever. I'll figure it out. You know what's funny? I'll figure it out, and then the winter will come, and then I'll still be without an AC. So, whatever. Call AARP. They will help you. They will? Good. Because I know they're starting young now with AARP. But you're still in New York. Why? Because I have a job. 1, 2, I have 2 kids that still live here. 3, I'm going to retire in a couple years. So why rush out of here? And 4, I'm turning the living room into a photo studio. So that's going to be my source of income for a little bit. But yeah, so that's why I haven't moved out yet. Get a 10,000 BTU. 10,000 for this room, yes. For the living room, has to be anywhere between 18 to 20,000 to get the whole living room cooled off. I cannot have a photo studio and have models come in here sweating and shit. You know, so I got to get it. That's the first place to get an AC. Hopefully by September, everything's squared away. I'm already fixing the bathroom. I'm fixing my bathroom right now. So that's going to get painted over. And then I'm gutting the bathroom, throwing everything out that my parents had. I told my mother the other day, I'm like, yo, enough. I'm throwing a lot of shit out. And she's like, okay. Because I told her, I'm like, what are we going to do? We're going to hang on to your shit for a couple of more years, and then what? Then you're going to throw it out? You know, then we're going to throw it out? I said, no. I'm throwing out a lot of shit. And if you can't remember what's in a box or what's where, it's gone. And she was like, all right. So I'm like, we're going to flood your home with more garbage so that we can throw that out in a couple of years? I said, no, man, I'm throwing it out. Do fireman calendars of you in here? No. Do fireman calendar. Imagine wearing my bunker gear and they're doing a whole farm. No way. No way. I joked about it going into the calendar my last year working, but I got to be like fit. I'm not fit. You know, I'm no way. Anna says, what type of photography? Right now it's like headshots and dating profile photography. That's the those are the type of photography I'm doing in the studio. Outside of that, I do wilderness photography outdoors. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go off the air right now. I will see a lot of you guys later, or some of you guys over on the Angry Truth channel. We're going to talk about what this administration is up to and possibly why they're doing what they're doing. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys Thursday for the doubleheader as well. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow morning I will have a midweek report. So I'll see some of you guys on that as well. Stick around for weird news and news that we missed. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it as always. And I will see some of you guys in 5 minutes.